Hey crafty people, welcome back to my channel, and in case you're new here, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. I do paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, and mixed media art. Let's get crafting! Welcome back. It's time for another Mess Make Monday. In case you're new to my channel, what I do is I set a timer for 45 minutes and I try to see how many of a particular item I can create in that time. And today we are going to be doing a project with junk mail envelopes because I have an insane number of junk mail envelopes and I really need to start using them because I just keep collecting them. And I did do a sample, so this is what we're going to create using 3 envelopes, and we're actually going to create it's a 2-for-1 today, 2 sets of pockets. So let's get our timer started, and I'll set that to the side. Now I've already prepped 2, 3, 4 sets to do, and I'm going to show you what cuts I made to get those 4 sets together on a set of 3 envelopes. My envelopes are roughly 9.5 by 4.5 to 4 inches wide, approximately. Oh, these are, yes. So those are the envelopes I'm working with. Now, you of course could use new envelopes if you prefer to do that. I just keep saving every time I get mail. I save the envelopes, so I would like to use those. So for the first step, I am going to cut everybody down to 4 inches wide because I use US letter size paper folded in half, so my journal pages are usually 8.5 by 5.5 for the pages. So I'm going to start with the first pocket. I'm going to cut down to 8 inches, and of course, as soon as I start the video, my dog wants in, and he literally just went outside. So I'm going to pause my timer and go let a dog in. All right, I'm back. For the next one, we are going to cut it down again to 4 inches wide, and then cut that down to 7.5 inches tall. So we're going to stagger these and save this piece that you cut off. The little bits you cut off of the side there, you don't need to save, but the bottom pieces you do, because that's going to be our second piece. And then I'm going to cut this down to 4 and go get my other dog in, who has now decided to start barking like a loony. Oh, it's going to be one of those days. And then let's cut this one down to 7. And I will be right back. And I'm back. Oh, I paused it. Thought I paused my recording and didn't, apparently. Okay, so I'm here. Let's start that up. Boy, it's going to be one of those days. Oh, I was not paying attention. Because of the way I stacked them, I cut the smaller one a little bit shorter, and I should have used the single envelope ones, or single window ones, because now I'm going to have to cut through one of the windows. Not that it matters because we're going to cover these up completely, but it's just a little easier not to cut through a window. I'm going to cut 1 inch off this piece. So, that's still attached to each other. Okay, we're going to set all those aside. So what we're going to do now is cover all of our pieces. So we've got these 3 short pieces we're going to set aside for our second pocket. Our main pocket we are going to do, and this is where you need to decide, do you want it going this way on a page or this way? Because we're only going to cover one side. And so this is a page in your journal. If you put your openings this way, it's easier to put it on a page where the edge of the page is here and this is towards the center, just because it's a little easier once it's in the journal to put things in and out of the pocket if it's facing this way. And if you go the other way, it's easier to put it on a page like this because it's easier to get the stuff in and out that way where it's not towards the center. So let's see, I've got 5 of these and I've done one of those, so we'll do 3 Halloween-y fall ones and 2 Christmas ones, and let's try and stagger which way we go. So this one will go as a pocket going this way. Now, I'm gonna grab some paper I've got like a ridiculous collection of Halloween scrapbook paper from way back when I was doing card making. So let's grab that piece. Kind of like, can I use that one? And you may hear my printer going in the background. I don't remember if I mentioned this or not, because I'm printing out a digital. So I might end up using that, or do we want, no, not that. I'm going to double up on the stripes, or throw a plaid in here. Actually, I think let's do that. So yeah, I'm trying to use up some of my Halloween scrapbook paper that I've had forever. So for covering your pages, you can use scrapbook paper. I would suggest a lighter weight. Like, this is a fairly thin, flimsy paper, not a heavier one. And you know what? I need three. Because these are single-sided. So I go that. Maybe we'll pull that one in. And these are probably all from the same paper pad. I don't know. Like I said, I've had this. Oh, you know what? Let's grab this one. That one. So that's, yeah, I'm trying to use the stuff up, although I will be a little sad when I use up all of the like Halloween houndstooth, and like, these are good base papers. And I think to make life easier, I am going to use my paper trimmer and trim our pages down, because we know our measurements. Now, something I realized after I had already prepped the other envelopes for doing this is you could cover it before you trimmed off the bottom piece. And that might have made some sense, but I already did it, so we're kind of at a too late now. All right, so we're gonna do 4 inches. For each sheet. And then let's decide which order we want them in. I think I want to go that way, so we're going to cut this down to 8. Seven and a half. Seven. Now this needs to get cut down to 3. Trying to think, did I? Okay. And I'm realizing now I need 1 more paper. Because I got that little 1-inch section. Okay, sorry. Oop, that'll work. If it's long enough. And it's plenty long, so let's cut off 1 inch here. And then trim that down to 7. As I was saying about the papers, you could use digitals, you could use scrapbook papers, which I'm using. I would suggest thinner, because we're building up so many layers. It's going to get really bulky in your journal if you use a heavier weight scrapbook paper. So for this guy, let's just go through and grab some glue, which I did not bring over here. Let me go grab my glue. And we're going to take our tallest one and we're going to cover it with our paper. Now you of course cut your paper a little longer and wrap it around the edges. Don't know that that's really necessary. I mean, these are envelopes. They're designed to have papers go in and out of them. I don't know that they need extra reinforcing on the edges. So just gonna cover that up. And I'm noticing a little white on my edges, so I am gonna grab a dauber and some ink and ink the edges. And I'm trying to find black soot, which is not on my desk. It's not. Woo! Craftalanche! I'm knocking stuff over. All right, let's get that and that. That and that out of the way and see if we can find the ink we want. All right, I'm just gonna grab scorched timber because that should be dark enough and you won't really tell, just to cover up the white. Now you of course could ink the edges of your envelope before gluing your paper on. So, yep, let's go ahead and ink edges. Because I don't know where my black soot is, because I thought I only brought I was playing around on these, working on these things last night on my couch and doing some other stuff. And so I thought I only grabbed the hickory smoke and brought that over. So there's the first one. Let's go ahead and cover our second one. Now, before I do that, let me go back here because this is lifting up, and let's just glue that down so we don't have to worry about that. And then cover this whole thing up. And again, this one, I think I'm just gonna, because I put the paper a little low, just trim all of that excess white off. But I am gonna ink the edges so that it matches up with the bottom layer. So let's do that real quick. I did not cut that do a very good job of trimming that off, did I? There, that's a little bit better. Let's ink our edges and see, yeah, you can't tell that this is brown versus a black ink. And I'm going to offset this that way because that's what we end up doing, is stacking them across. And let's do a little bit more room there. And I'm gonna put my fingers here. So let's flip this whole thing over. And I'm making sure my openings are going the same way. And I'm just gonna glue this down. Stick it on here, and I'm just gonna kind of eyeball center it on the piece and go like so. Flip it over and try and make sure it's straight-ish, because you know I don't do straight. And then for our last one, again, we're gonna go this way. Now this one we're gonna put at the very edge because otherwise we start to get too wide. So that's why I trimmed it off, because my page is only 5.5. So if I stick it out there, it's the whole width of the page, which is a bit much. So I want to keep it to about 5 inches across. So by doing that, I still have space. Like I have the, you know, you can see all of the papers showing. So let's go ahead and add this on. I actually think because I've got this window bit here, what I may do after I add this on is grab a little washi tape and wrap it around over here, just because Let's see, how well on is that? Yeah, I think I may just washi tape that edge just because I've got cut through the window because I wasn't paying attention. So don't do that. Pay attention and make sure if you've got like a double window one, whichever one you use for your smallest one, you're not going to be cutting through a window to do it. And I'm looking outside and it's getting kind of cloudy out, and I was going to dye paper this morning, but my day got thrown off a little bit. Let me find some washi. And you know what? I think this one will work. I think this is by All and Create, and I think this will work just fine on the edge. Just gonna cut off a piece. And I'm gonna grab a glue stick and run it over. So my plan this morning was I was gonna get up, I was gonna have some breakfast, film this video, and then go outside and start dyeing some paper because I need some coffee dyed paper. And I saw a YouTube video where she mixed tea dyeing and distress sprays and crumpled up the paper, and I'm like, ooh, I want to give that a try. So that was gonna be, I was gonna do this video, then do that. But then I get a call from my dad. He needs me to come over and help him measure because he needs to replace a section of his screened in porch screening. So I went over there and then stood around chatting with my dad for a little while. So by the time I got home, I was like, all right, let's go film a video. And now it's later in the morning and I'm looking outside and it looks like it's gonna rain maybe. And that's not ideal weather for going out and dyeing paper. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to dye paper today. I'm going to be very disappointed if I can't do that today. And how did I manage to screw this up so very badly when I cut it? How did I manage to be that far off? Wow. All right, let's put this on. Wrap it over. And then grab another little piece and stick it at the top because, yeah, that's really off. Way off. I was like, oh, it's gonna be too long. No, it's not gonna be long enough. So, let's line that up. Wrap that around, and then I'm just gonna clip off the bit that's excess over the top, at the top. All right, so yeah, my morning got thrown a little out of schedule because I went over and helped him measure and chatted with my dad for a little while, and then got back here and sat down for a few minutes because I realized I needed to charge my phone because it was running low. So I had to do that before I could start recording. And goodness gracious, it's like we're 20 minutes into this video and I haven't even finished one yet. Oh, I really need to pick up the pace. All right, hopefully the rest will go faster because I have them all cut already. All right, now for this one, I think we're gonna make our life easier and go that way. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover it. Then we're gonna glue one side shut, and then we're gonna add it on here like so as an additional pocket. So let's glue, actually we're gonna glue the top and the side shut because then it's just gonna be a tuck spot. So put a little glue there, a little glue there. We're gonna glue down here. Now, of course, when you're assembling this, you could always, ooh, got a little bit sticking up off the top. Let's just see how well it covers with the ink. Oh, that's good. Just gonna ink this all up because I've got white showing. I've got white edges on my cardstock showing. Like, it just needs all kinds of inking. So when you glue these together, you could, of course, have left space so that instead of just having this be a pocket, you could have had behind it be a pocket as well, but I thought that was a bit more than I needed. I figured 4 pockets and a tuck spot, and then you could always attach it on the page to add another pocket to the lineup. So let's glue this guy down. So there we go. That's our set of pockets. So you got 1, 2, 3, and a tuck spot. That means, and then we still have these guys, which we can now cover with our scraps. Let's see. And we'll do that and glue those together. And so for these, I decided to make them just regular old pockets. So I did glue the side seam shut on those. Is that gonna work that way? And I think I'm just gonna glue down and then trim off on these guys, because that'll just be a little bit easier. Just be careful when you're trimming off that you don't trim off your bot. Actually, here's how it'll work even better, is if I line it up at the bottom and stick it on, and then we can grab our paper trimmer and trim that off here in a sec. So I've got that one. This way. Yep. Oh, let's not forget to glue it shut. Now you of course could use glue stick for all of this. I'm using art glitter glue just because that's the glue I prefer. Me and glue stick do not get along. I pretty much only use it to add a little bit more oomph to, and that's the wrong way, washi tapes, because washi tapes are designed not to be permanent. So I add a little glue stick whenever I use washi, but I don't know, me and washi just don't quite get along, not quite enough. Let's see. Let's glue this shut. That way. Oh, because I probably cut that down. Yes, no. Why is that not? It's not lining up as well as it should. All right, let's go this way with it, and we'll just trim everywheres. Since, you know, for Mass Make Monday, only getting one finish would be bad. That would be an all-time low for my mass making. All right, let's grab my paper trimmer, because if you're familiar with my channel, you know me and cutting straight, not so much. So just be careful when you're trimming off that you don't open up your pockets in places you don't want them open, which by having the overhang be at the top, I don't have to worry so much about the possibility of doing it at the bottom of my pocket. But that one, because I trimmed across the side as well, just want to make sure you don't open up your pocket in ways you didn't mean to. Let's get that over to the edge. All right, so now we've got 1, 2, 3 pockets. And for these, what I did do is, all right, let's make sure we have everybody facing up the correct way. And that one, I'm gonna go in with my glue and just glue that flap down so things don't stick on it when I put them in the pocket. To add additional pockets, I just glued the sides down. So I'm gonna go like this and do a line of glue here and here. Now, you can run it along the bottom, but this way the pocket's bigger if you don't. So it'll go all the way to the bottoms. And then we're gonna do this guy on. And we're gonna go there-ish. So I'm just gonna hold that up like so. Go like this. And like this. And then when you glue it on the page, if you glue all the way down here across the bottom and up here, that'll give a bottom to this pocket and this pocket. So now this has 6 pockets potentially. So if you glue it on the page where you leave the center open, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, that's not 4. 4, 5, and 6. So that one's done. All right, let's move right along and see if we can actually get the rest of these covered. So if I want to do another Halloween one, let's use some more of that scrapbook paper, try and get it used up. Let's put these guys back together with the paper clip and let's do all of our cutting. So we've got 5 over here, 4, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Alrighty, so let's grab some paper and get to cutting up our pieces. So I need one piece that is 8 inches by 4 inches. Trying to think, do I want to just go with the same color again? You know what, let's go ahead and use the same colors again. So I need 4 inches, but we'll mix up the order it's in. 4 by 7.5, and then we'll keep that. And 4 by 7. And that one's gonna get trimmed down, but then we need, for the skinny piece, I think that will work for the skinny piece. And we've got more scraps over here, so I think that'll work for that one. Next, I'm gonna grab, this is some recollection cardstock that I used on the last one, but let's go ahead and use it again for this one. And I need it to be, we need 4 inches wide. You know what? This has got a design strip on it that I need to cut off. So I need a different trimmer. Yeeps. If you're not aware, the design, when they add design strips, sometimes they give you a little extra so the piece doesn't measure exactly at 12. So your best bet is to measure out to 12 and then cut the strip off. 1. And now it will fit, and I can cut this down to 4. And I've got this trimmer out, so I'm going to use it. And here I was like, oh, we'll only do a handful of them and we'll get them all done and I'll have time to decorate. Do 1 strip of 4, I'm gonna do a second strip of 4 because this is double-sided. I can flip it over and use the back side. And then oh, like why is this not? Because I need to go this way. Oi. Looking at my time and we've got less than 15 minutes left. I'm like, how did this, how is this possible? All right, 4. And that should get us good for that one. And then I've got some digitals that I printed, and these are by Cotton and Twig, and these are my Porch Prints. And we're just gonna trim those up. So I need we're gonna go this way. And I need 1. 2. 3. And we're gonna need a skinny strip. And these are not double-sided, that's why I'm taking a moment. Let's do 1 inch off of this one. That'll contrast nicely. All right, now we're gonna go 4. 4. 4. And really don't like trying to cut 1 inch on this one, so we'll get a regular trimmer out and do 1 inch off of here. Actually, we'll go I think I want it to be darker, so here's what we're gonna do. Like don't want the faded edge so much, so we're gonna go there and then flip it around and do that. And then we're gonna cut this down to 7. And this one we'll cut down to 7. And take an inch off. This one we'll cut to 7.5. And 8. It's all one set, and that's all our scraps for this one set. All right, so seven. Take an inch off. Eep. 7.5. 8, because we've got like 10 minutes left. And this one needs to be 7. We've got one more set to trim down, and then we can get to covering. Here I thought I was like, oh, I'm gonna have plenty of time to decorate. All right, 8. Seven and a half. 7. All right, let's see. Should have done, actually, I'm like, I should have done it the other way. Boy, it's double-sided. I could just flip that one. Yeah, okay. It doesn't matter because it's double-sided. I just have to take 1 inch off. Oh, my brain is clearly not working because I'm sitting there. I'm like, which side do I want to take the one off? This side or that side? Just ignore me. All right. So let's get to covering our pieces. See if we can manage to get all 5 of these done in 9 minutes. What do you think? All right. So I did Halloween going that way, so we're going to do it going this way this time. Glue up any loose bits. Start at the back and work our way forward. So yeah, my going over to my dad's kind of threw my morning off. I'm trying to think what's been going on, and not a whole heck of a lot. Like, next weekend's going to be very, very busy because my birthday is this coming, what is it, Thursday? It's Thursday. I was just trying to figure out what day of the week the 8th is because that's my birthday. So I think we're probably going to be doing dinner on Saturday. I also have a hair appointment on Saturday. So I've got that going on. Yeah, I texted my hairdresser. I'm like, can we move up my hair appointment just a little bit? Because I think it's this week we do bleaching, which means, or this time round we're doing bleaching, which means it's a good 3-hour appointment, and my appointment was at 2, and I'm like, that means at best I'm getting out of there at 5, and I'm like, that's probably about the time my sister's gonna want to be doing dinner. So I was like, I sent her a text. I'm like, can we move it a little earlier? She's like, how about 1? I'm like, that'll work. So that'll give me enough time to run home. And oh, I did not trim off the 1 inch from this. Let's trim this down 1 inch. And then Sunday, my dad and I are going to see the next movie in the Lord of the Rings, which is what? The Two Towers in concert. So we've got that on Sunday. I'm very excited about that. Oh, this one is cut open on both sides. So let's go ahead and glue this side shut and have it not be the side where the pocket is. So I'm looking forward to that because the first one was oh so very good in concert. And if you're new to my channel and haven't heard me talk about the movies in concert and are not familiar with them, what they do is they remove the movie score from a movie and have the orchestra. So this is the Orlando Philharmonic Orchestra, I think. I do this every time. I never remember what its exact title is, and I did not do that straight. So let's try that again and try and do it straight so we don't have a whole bunch of overhang in weird places. So yeah, it's I think the Orlando Philharmonic Orchestra performs the score, and they show the movie on a big screen above the orchestra. So it's very cool. If you've never been, I do highly recommend going to see it. If you like orchestral music, like if you like that type of music, and ooh, this is like all kinds of off. This one got kind of funky. All right, let's trim this up real quick. And goodness gracious, we've got just about 5 minutes. Where did all this time go? So as I was saying, the orchestra plays the score for the movie. You know, the dialogue's left in, but you get to sit and listen to them play the actual music live, and it's most excellent. In fact, my dad and I went and saw all but the last two Harry Potters, because he's not a fan of the last two movies, so we didn't bother doing those in concert. And I think The Lord of the Rings is actually better, mostly because I think the score's a better score, just in terms of the like magnitude of it, and the you know, it just, there's more to it, I think, than for the Harry Potter films. So it's a little bit more epic, I guess would be the way to describe it. So that was most excellent. And oh, good grief, I'm lucky if we're gonna be lucky to get 2 done today. I'm very disappointed about how slowly I am moving. I don't know why I'm moving so slow, and I don't know why these are so off. Granted, I'm using envelopes and they're not always the straightest of things, so cuts don't always necessarily work out right. All right. Oh, but at least this is a good idea of a way to use up your stash of envelopes if you're like me and have way too many envelopes. And then this guy, I forgot about doing this guy. All right, let's put some glue at the top there. Oh, yeah, this is definitely taking way longer than I thought it would. I thought this would be like a nice quick, get a whole bunch done. Won't that be cool? Yeah, not so much. All right, so again, you could just put glue on some of the sides on this and add additional pockets to this. I'm not going to. As I said, I think 4 pockets, 5 pockets, however many ends up being, is enough. But that is an option. So yeah, I have a busy next weekend coming up, so I need to get some serious filming done this weekend, so I have videos for the week after, because I won't have much time next weekend to do any filming. That is, okay, we're gonna just go ahead and glue it down and ink. Wowzers. Literally just gonna get 2 done. Just the 2. May go over time just to do one of the Christmas ones so you can see another one done. Like maybe do one with the digis so that you can see what that looks like. Because yeah, we've got slightly over 2 minutes, so that's about enough time maybe to get the short pocket that goes with this done. All right, so we've got that done, and I've managed to glue it to my desk somehow. Well, that's not good. All right, and then our stubby pockets. And again, I'm just gonna attach the paper and trim, because I think that works better. Does that go across all the way? Not quite. I'm just gonna go this way so I don't have to deal with quite so much white showing. Got one. And I didn't remember on that one to have the overhang be at the top. Ooh, I'm getting glue everywhere. This is what I get for brushing, to try and get stuff done. 2. And let's see, come on, you've got to be wide enough. Yes. 3. Let's do that closed. Yeah, literally just gonna get those 2 done in the time frame. Maybe. Like, I'm looking at the timer. It's gonna go off before we finish these. Where did I put the pen? Okay, there it is. again, gonna trim off my excess. All right, that's time. Let's get this one done. And I gotta be a little bit more careful because again, I had the overhang where the closed part of the envelope is, so we don't wanna open up our envelope. All right, let's glue these guys together. And I'm just gonna ink the edges off camera because they're all edges that aren't glued down. Like I can just glue, I can just ink around them after I glue it together. And this will go here. All right, so that one's done. So we got 2 out of the same scrapbook paper done. We got this one going this way and this one going that way done. I'm gonna go ahead and do another one. For this one, I'll speed stuff up so that you can just see what it looks like done, since you've already seen me cutting and all of that. So now it's just pretty much the assembly and you've seen that. So I'll just do a couple, like finish off the rest of the ones I've got cut out because yeah, I'm trying to avoid leaving a bunch of stuff left over from Mass Make Mondays to finish later because then they just sit forever waiting for me to finish. So I will speed things along and just show you what they look like so we can have more than 2 at the end of this session. Okay, so we got these two done together, and then on speed up I did this one, and this one. And so using 3 envelopes, we created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then attached on like that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pockets. So we made 11 pockets using 3 junk mail envelopes. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting.